So I train 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and I usually will go for like 9 days off at a time because I like to work out weekends. I go to jujitsu open mats. I will do hikes on the weekend. I do a lot of strenuous things throughout those 3 weeks. So the 3 weeks on, 7 to 9 days off really allows me to have a lot of flexibility. And if I take one day off here or there, it doesn't really affect anything because maybe I take a day off from lifting or a day off from calisthenics or a day off from other things, but still drill, still go to jujitsu, still walk barefoot. I generally still walk on my off week, my off 9 day period. My camera's all fuzzy. Okay, that's better. And the reason for that is being active is really good, but in terms of training, I do the 3 weeks on, 1 week off because I'm really training my mitochondria. I'm training a few things, and I try to be very specific about what I train. I'm not just training my muscles to be bigger. I'm training tendons. I'm training movement patterns in my nervous system. I'm training the ability of my nervous system to fire efficiently. I'm training fascia. I'm training mitochondrial activity in my muscle cells. And that last one, the mitochondrial training in my muscle cells, is really... Actually, this is just a fun side note. So I was just watching... I kind of spent a lot of the day earlier getting sidetracked with YouTube shorts and stuff, and it makes my brain feel terrible. Honest to God, it's just just scrolling social media makes my brain feel terrible. But when I produce on social media, I feel great. So actually, I just started feeling much better just even 2 minutes into making this video because I'm actually articulating myself. I'm doing something rather than simply consuming, which just didn't feel good. I felt I'd share that with you guys. So I am training my mitochondrial function. I'm training my cells to produce ATP at a certain rate. I'm training certain muscle patterns. I'm training certain movements. And taking time off, basically, I always lose a ton of weight when ton of body fat and extra puffiness and stuff when I do take time off from training because my mitochondria, there's a layover effect with mitochondrial activity. Mitochondrial activity fuels more mitochondrial activity. So when I take that time off, my mitochondria are still active despite not spiking my cortisol with exercise. So that really allows my body to heal, to recover, to increase metabolism because stress chemicals, cortisol, is antagonistic to metabolism, but exercise is beneficial to metabolism. So if I'm always exercising, then I'm kind of fighting this metabolic increase, but taking time off, even a great deal of time off. My wife was going to jiu-jitsu recently, and the jiu-jitsu coach, she told the jiu-jitsu coach about the fact that I do this, and he kind of snickered, it's a little silly of him, very short-sighted, but he snickered, and it's that's because this is very frowned upon in the fitness community, in the jiu-jitsu community. Oh, you're taking time off, and it's yeah, I'm taking time off because that allows my metabolism to increase, so I'm constantly making gains every single cycle, every single month. My workouts are getting easier, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting faster, I'm building muscle, I'm feeling better and better, I don't get injured, my movement quality increases. And it's because, and a lot of this also I train every day, and that's the reason I train every day is, again, this mitochondrial stimulation. I'm stimulating my mitochondria to produce ATP every day so that they get used to it, and I'm training this, and that also trains my ability to recover. So instead of doing a few really hard workouts a few times a week and then spending the rest of the time resting and kind of relying on that, which I've done that before. I've done all of the variations. I've done 5-day splits, I've done 3-day splits, I've done 2-day splits, I've done 4-day splits, I've done upper lower body splits, I've done full body workout. I've done all of the stuff. For the most part, you could always come up with something I haven't done. I haven't done Pilates, but who cares? So the reason I do this is because this is what works for me. I think this works for a lot of people. I don't think this is just working for me, and this principles of physiology here. And again, I'm going to do 53-pound kettlebell Turkish get-ups and 70-pound kettlebell swings. Today I'm going to do that. Tomorrow I'm going to do that the next day, probably take the weekend off, do a little jiu-jitsu, do some work on a house, and then the next day come back Monday and do more of this, and just keep on doing this. And it's hard. Like when I first started doing 70-pound kettlebell swings 5 days a week, 3 weeks a month at the minimum, that was hard. I couldn't do that. Like I'd do like 10 swings, 20 swings, and then I'd be like, I'd push myself to do like 50 swings, 50 really good swings, and I'd be like sore for like a few days. And I couldn't really do it. I'd just be overtraining. And it's like over time, I built up the muscles in my back and my glutes and my abs and legs and grip to the point where they can sustain that, and they can sustain that level of recovery. So it's really just, the recovery is just the mitochondrial activity, because the mitochondria that produces the ATP that allows me to do this are the same mitochondria that produce the ATP that allow me to recover. So by training in a way, and like really look into this, look into like mitochondrial training, like how exercise affects the mitochondria. By training this way, my recovery is much greater. My strength goes through the roof. My athleticism is through the roof. My explosiveness is through the roof. And I'm never really overtrained, because every 3 weeks I take like 9 days off and I just don't do anything. And it also allows me to train jiu-jitsu without being super sore, because again, my mitochondria function is really high. So my body is just in this crazy recovery mode. And I've never really, by the time I get to the end of the 3-week period, I'm kind of sore. Like I'm kind of feeling it. But then 4 days into my off week, I'm like, I'm rearing to go. And then I still have another 5 days left. And this is good. This keeps me really strong. I'm gaming to take, like last year, I took like 2 months off. I'll probably take at least a month and a half off around December this year. And the reason for that, again, is I go hard during the year. So I'm going hard constantly, but I want to allow my body to recover, because I think that this not allowing your body to recover properly damages our mitochondria and prevents long-term mitochondrial adaptation, which is really what's going to support training. In the book Super Strength by Alan Calvert, he talks about how he trains every day. And he's like, I recommend everyone train every day. And I believe the reason for this is mitochondrial training. You're training your metabolism as well. The more, he talks about that as well. He's like, the more you train, the more you have to eat. And he's like, I train, then I eat more food. He's like, the more you train, like a newbie starting to train will start to require more and more and more food. And this is good. This fuels his strength gains. And so in a real sense, am I training my muscles, or am I training my mitochondria to burn calories and produce ATP without excessive reactive oxygen species and cortisol? It's a question for everyone. Am I training my muscles, or am I training my body to engage in certain movement patterns that are very beneficial, like walking barefoot? So the tendons and ligaments of my feet are very, very, very strong, and my legs are very, very, very strong, and my knees feel very good. When I didn't walk barefoot, my knees would start hurting, and it was like, oh my God, my knees are hurting. What the heck? I'm only 23 years old at the time, and my knees were hurting. And now that I walk barefoot, my knees feel very buttery. I do my, can't say I'm in my kids' playroom, but where I'm doing Turkish get-ups, but I just did a sissy squat. I did a knees over toes, ball of the foot squat. I do these a few times. I do push-ups. I do pull-ups. The primary driver of my training right now is Turkish get-ups and kettlebell swings. But in the near future, I'm going to get a power rack. I'm looking to pick one up very soon off Facebook Marketplace. And I'm going to do weighted pull-ups on that maybe once a week. And again, that's simply stimulating my nervous system and my muscles. But I'm training my mitochondria with these workouts. I'm training my circulatory system with walking all the time. And I'm training my breathing by doing deep breathing exercises. And this is what makes me so athletic at the end of the day. So consider all this stuff and let me know what you think in the comments below.